This Walk-On Coach Conversation brought to you by Fareway of Waukon and Waukon State Bank, where we're with head coach Chad Beerman. And Coach, I'm just basing this on the mere results. I'm guessing there was a little bit of improvement between week 1 and week 2 for your football team. Fair to say?
Yeah, there was quite a bit. One of the big things was we shuffled the offensive line. We only had one kid starting the same position that he had started against Decorah this week. So, reshuffling the line, but then, working on the fundamentals, taking what was there, another week of catching and throwing. And so the timing got a little bit more in sync than it was last week. And then the run blocking came along too.
And seemingly it was a nice balanced offensive attack. You were able to do a lot in the passing game and in the running game. Do you agree?
Yeah. We probably ran the ball a little more than we did last week, but part of that's because the line was playing better and making some nice creases for us. Again, so much of our offense is based on reads, and when the kids are taking what the read gives them, the offense tends to run a little bit better. And this week we did a better job of that, both running and passing.
And your defense, 8 tackles for a loss, 2 sacks, 2 takeaways. And you held a pretty good Waverly team who put up 49 against Cresco to 10 points. How were you able to do that?
Well, we kind of jumped on them early. We went down and scored, and then they came right back and had a long run called back on hold. That drive stalled out, and we got, we're up 16-0. And then, we were up 30-0 right before half. They came down and kicked the field goal to make it 30-3 at halftime, and we were able to keep the pressure on, through the third quarter, and then get kids in, get a lot of extra playing time for kids in the fourth quarter.
And after a week 1 disappointing result, what did last week's result, I guess I'm trying to say, what did that do for your team's confidence?
I think after the Decorah loss, we were able to refocus a little bit more. We had newspapers and TV up and covering kids, and sometimes 17, 18-year-old boys, that stuff goes to their heads, and so that loss kind of woke them up, and then we were able to get really dialed in with Waverly and play the kind of game that we think we can play week in and week out. And we strive. We don't want to be sky high one week and then bottom out the next. So we'd like to try to keep them pretty even keel going forward now.
And you make a trip to another Northeast Iowa Conference opponent this week in New Hampton. Tell us about the Chickasaws. What challenges do they present?
Well, they're actually throwing the ball more than we are. They were about 40% run, 60% pass now. Rochford kid does a nice job throwing the ball. They got some receivers that go get it. But then they got the Ferry kid in the backfield who's a big banger, a tailback. So when they want to line up in the eye, which they're still in the eye quite a bit, even throwing out of it. But it presents different challenges than what you traditionally expect to see from an 85% run team in the past, more pass dominant now.
So you got teams like Decorah throwing more and New Hampton throwing more. The times they are changing, aren't they, Chad?
Yeah, they are. It makes for a lot longer games though than the old, 3 yards in a cloud of dust and 120 plays to break up on film, and now you got 160, 180, 190 plays to get through every week on one game. So things have really changed.
All right, Coach, keep your kids healthy. We wish you best of luck this week.
All right, thank you.
Chad Beerman on our Walk-On Coach Conversation, brought to you by Fareway of Waukon and by Waukon State Bank.